Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, February the 26th, 2016. Welcome to another eBay video. As you can see, it is cloudy and rainy still. Nothing has changed. We have had rain every day this week, and I'm talking serious rain and serious storms. Trees came down, power lines came down. Luckily, I didn't get hurt that badly except for some water in the basement. A tractor trailer was flipped over on the George Washington Bridge the other night. Several houses in my area were hit by falling trees. And the train that you guys love so much over here was actually stopped dead the other night. I believe that was Wednesday night or Thursday night, because a tree had fallen on the tracks in the middle of one of the storms, and the train nailed it and became disabled. But anyway, someday we'll get a sunny day. Let's talk about this week's eBay events. Today we're going to discuss Watchcount retiring its bidder search. We're going to also discuss another important function that has gone by the wayside, the duplicate listing scanner. I'll get to that later. We're going to talk about Hal Lawton and his top-rated seller status, a crazy return that I had, and customer service representatives giving out wrong information. So let's get started. I really got to crank this out because it's going to start raining again any second. First of all, the main topic of today's video. Watchcount has retired the much-loved eBay bidder search. I'm going to read to you Watchcount's press release on this. So just stick with me here for a second. I've got it all here. And this was posted on February 19th. Today we've retired our buyer bidder history search tool on eBay's polite request. Over its 1+ year of existence, we've heard from many eBayers who used it, expressing a whole spectrum of feelings about it. We've been told it was helpful to many sellers for a variety of reasons, but some users also understandably felt quite the opposite about it. It was somewhat controversial, so we considered it and clearly labeled it experimental from the start. But its short life has come to an end, and we're now permanently sunsetting this clever little tool. As always, thanks for visiting Watchcount.com. What are my feelings on this? My feelings are bad. I used that tool. I found it very helpful, and I know a lot of you guys did too. Watchcount states that eBay has politely requested them to disable the function. Am I going to read anything into that? Not at this time. Let's just see how this plays out. I myself love this tool. I know a lot of you guys did too. I received a number of emails from you guys over the weekend telling me you were trying to use it and you were getting error messages or it was not working. It's important to remember, and this is what a lot of people forget, I put my videos out every Friday evening. However, I do not ever answer my eBay mail on the weekend, my Crazy New York Driver mail, because I'm out doing things. So a lot of you guys are emailing me like crazy, wondering why you're not getting an answer until Monday morning. That's when I got back to everybody and I told you that yes, I was aware of the problem and that the function has been disabled. On this same topic, there's another handy dandy little tool called the duplicate listing scanner. I tried to use it on Wednesday night and I was getting error messages. Like I would type in my user ID or the ID of other people and it would say invalid eBay user ID. And I'm thinking, what's going on? So on Thursday, they actually published on the site, on the duplicate listing scanner site, they published a little notice, an update saying that there is a problem, that everybody is getting, not everybody, but a good number of people are getting invalid search entries. Now, I don't know what's causing this or why it's being caused. Hopefully I'll have more information in the future. But what I urge you guys to do when you have a chance is to go to the duplicate listing scanner tool. I'm going to put a link in the description box below, and I'd like you guys to type in your eBay user ID and see if it comes up or not, because as of this moment it is not working. Something's wrong. I don't know if it's a glitch on their end or if eBay's involved. I just don't know. This is something that's just happened. This is fresh news, but let's keep on top of it. I've been reading a lot in the Facebook groups about this and that and things that are going on. And Hal Lawton, I'm sure you know Hal Lawton, he's the head of eBay North America. He posted in one of our Facebook groups that he has now made top-rated seller status. And I think it's important because this is another example of eBay workers, the higher-ups, actually jumping into the trenches like the eBay sellers that we are, and experiencing selling on eBay firsthand for themselves. They are jumping in, they're selling on eBay, they're going through what we go through, and they're trying to win and trying to see how good they can do. And that's great, because this way he can experience any little problems or issues that we experience. Remember, back in the old school days with John Donahoe, you would never see, never see Donahoe roll his sleeves up and get into action. Never happened. I am glad to see these new guys come into power. I think that they're going to do great for eBay, and they're going to do great for all us eBay sellers. That's why I wanted to mention that little blurb about Hal Lawton's top-rated seller status. Congratulations to Mr. Hal Lawton on that. Keep it up, boss. Now, I want to talk about two topics in one: returns and inaccurate CS information. A lot of you guys have written on Facebook and here in the comment section about calling eBay on an issue you had and getting inaccurate CS information. Many of you guys have had to call 2 or 3 times to finally get your problem resolved. Well, I experienced that earlier this week, and I want to tell you what happened, because it is a crazy story. I have said in the past, guys, when you sell an item, you can usually get a feeling right off the bat if there's going to be a problem with the sale. So what I did was I sold an item last Saturday, and I'm going to tell you what it was so you can hopefully understand this a little better. I know a lot of you guys are not car guys, but stick with me. I sold a 14-inch wire hubcap for a Lincoln Versailles to Puerto Rico. Now that is a highly unusual sale. There are not many Lincoln Versailles still on the road. It was never a really popular car. It was made in the late 70s on the same chassis as the Ford Granada. Basically, it was a glorified Ford Granada, okay? And it performed as such. Anyway, so I had this 14-inch wire hubcap listed, and this customer bought it from Puerto Rico, paid right away, of course. So Saturday night, I printed up the label. Okay, however, it's not going to ship out till Monday morning, obviously. So, I should also tell you that Lincoln, full-size Lincolns, use 15-inch wheels and 15-inch wire hubcaps, and they are much more popular. In the back of my mind, I'm a little concerned about this sale, because I'm thinking maybe he wanted to buy a 15-inch one and made a mistake. However, it does clearly say in the item title, and you can go back and check it because I had to relist it. It says 14-inch Versailles. Versailles never made any size other than 14-inch. But still, I'm a little leery. But anyway, that was Saturday night. Monday morning, around 9:30, I get a return request through eBay. Oh no, a return request. Oy vey, what is it? It's this cat with the Lincoln Versailles saying, I want to return the hubcap, and he checked off the box that says wrong size, doesn't fit. And he writes, I need size 15-inch. So obviously, this guy did not read the listing. That's given. Now, I'd like to point out that shipping to Puerto Rico for this item was quite expensive, $25. So, I'm looking at it. Now, naturally, I've got to accept the return. There's no disputing that. But I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why is he asking to return the item when I haven't even shipped it yet? So I went downstairs, I checked in my car, because I had all the boxes loaded from Sunday night, and sure enough, it was in the car. I said, this doesn't make sense. I can understand him asking to cancel, but not return. So I called up eBay customer service Monday morning, and I got a USA representative. Explained the situation, and I said, it will not let me cancel the transaction. I'd like to give the guy his money back right now and end this. All right? And he says to me, well, what you have to do is you have to contact the buyer directly, and you have to tell him to close out the return request before you can cancel the transaction. And that just didn't seem right. I said to him, are you sure that's the way to do it? He says, well, Joe, I got to be honest with you. I have never in my life seen an eBay buyer request to return something they don't even have yet. But this is the way to do it. Tell the guy to to close out the return request, and then you can go ahead and cancel the transaction, give him his money back. I said, all right. I mean, he works for eBay, you should know. So I contacted the buyer and I told him that. I should also tell you that I had already gone ahead and voided the label, because that label was about $25. So this way, I'm glad I didn't ship the thing, because if I had shipped it, I would have lost 25 bucks on this deal. Christ, man. So later in the day, in the afternoon, the buyer from Puerto Rico gets back to me and says, okay, I've closed out the refund request. Could you now go ahead and give me my refund? I said, sure. I go to cancel the transaction. It won't let me. I'm getting an error message saying we cannot cancel this transaction because there's a refund request. Oh, Christ. Here we go again. Now I call eBay a second time in one day. This time I get the Philippines. I explain the whole situation to this person, and she says to me, well, you cannot cancel the transaction and refund him on eBay's end. It's just not going to happen. You have to go into your PayPal account and give him a refund through PayPal. Then when we see that you have indeed done that, we here on the eBay end can close out the refund request. So here's now two different stories, okay? So, okay, I have her on the phone. I said, listen, stick with me on the phone. I'll do it right now, live on the air. So, all right, I log into PayPal. I gave the guy his refund. She was able to see that I did, and she closed out the transaction. Bang. And I relisted it. The point of this story is twofold. Number one, what exactly is the right procedure to do in a case like this? It seems to me like the eBay reps really don't quite know. And quite frankly, I didn't know either. It's the first time it ever happened to me. I really think eBay needs to put some checks and balances in place right now, right freaking now, so that a buyer cannot request to return something he doesn't even have. Had eBay checked the tracking info, they would have clearly seen that it hadn't even been scanned in yet. I hadn't taken it to the post office. There should be checks and balances in place so that a person cannot open a return request if the tracking does not clearly show that he has indeed received it. This whole situation really had me thinking. Unbelievable. And I'm #1 eBay fanboy. But I just thought you guys would really enjoy that story because it's really an offbeat one, and it highlights a lot of the things you guys bring up every week about getting conflicting information from CS representatives and things like that. So I thought this would be a good object lesson to bring up. On the positive side for this week, my eBay sales were very good. I have no complaints whatsoever. Did I have any returns this week? I don't think so, which is unusual because I usually get returns every week. But maybe they're just on the way and I don't know it yet. Basically, that about covers it for this week. I can see the clouds are lowering and getting darker and darker as the minutes go by. I expect it to start raining any second, so I'm going to bring this to a close. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. But thanks for watching this video, and I'd like your input on the following key topics. How do you feel about the duplicate listing scanner returning error messages? I'd like you guys to run your own test on that and tell me if it's working for you or not and what day you've done the test. Also, how do you feel about Watchcount retiring the eBay buyer bidder history search tool? I'm really bummed out about that. Sad, man. Next in line, have you guys recently called eBay customer service and received conflicting accounts as to how to handle a particular issue? And lastly, don't you think that eBay should have some kind of checks and balances in place to prevent buyers from opening a return request when they haven't even gotten the item yet? That is freaking me out even now, man. Woo. Anyway, guys, let's do it. Thanks for watching. Rock on, make some killer sales. I'm out of here. See you next week. Peace!